The secret life of the whale giants of the blue planet in the deepest blue chambers of the ocean, where light survives only for a few trembling moments. A breath echoes through the endless silence, tearing apart the stillness of the sea. From behind the hazy curtains of water, a shadow begins to rise, massive, ancient, impossibly calm. Every particle of water trembles as it moves, as if the ocean itself is opening a path for this majestic being. Then, from the dark sapphire depths, a soft yet mighty song awakens one of nature's most powerful voices, a call that travels across entire continents beneath the waves. It is more than sound, it is a secret, a message of life, a whisper of longing, a promise of reunion, a testament of survival. Is the voice of a creature that is not merely an animal, but the soul of the ocean. The water stirs, the currents swirl, and then the surface of the deep, silent world breaks apart as a living masterpiece rises. Blue light glides across its colossal body, and it breathes above the waves with a grace so profound, it feels as though both the sky and the sea pause to listen. This is the whale, the largest living story on the planet, a being shaped by time, tides, and ancient memory. Few have witnessed its secrets, but today, we follow its shadow into the same vast ocean, where the true story of its life waits hidden. The ocean at dawn is a kingdom without boundaries, an endless stretch of shifting blues, drifting currents, and unseen worlds. Light filters down in fragile beams, trembling as it meets the moving surface. But beneath that thin layer of brightness lies a realm so vast, so ancient, and so silent that even time feels slower here. And in this silent, suspended world, something enormous breathes. Far below, in the twilight zone where light struggles to survive, a giant shadow moves. Its presence bends the water around it, as though the sea itself recognizes a life older and wiser than anything born on land. Yet the movement is gentle, calm, steady, almost careful. The whale begins her ascent. Her skin glows faintly in the weak light, deep gray, marked with scars that speak of journeys spanning decades and thousands of miles. Every scar is a memory. Every shade and curve is a witness to battles survived, storms endured, and migrations repeated with the precision of ancient instincts. Her massive tail sweeps downward, and with one slow, mighty stroke, her body rises toward the thinned veil of light above. The sea remains quiet. Nothing rushes here. Nothing needs to. Around her, small fish scatter like falling stars, drifting aside as the giant glides through their world. Her heartbeat is slow, so slow that the ocean seems to echo its rhythm. In this deep realm, she is more than a creature. She is a force of nature, a moving symbol of survival. Her destination lies far above, near the surface, where she will breathe, gather strength, and continue her journey. But this journey is not casual. It is a ritual repeated countless times, essential for her survival, and for the survival of the calf swimming close beside her. The calf is smaller, but still immense by any earthly standard. Young, curious, and playful, he circles around his mother, mimicking her movements. His eyes shine with a mix of innocence and inherited wisdom. With every flick of his tail, he discovers something new. The swirling plankton that glow like sparks, the shifting shadows of distant fish, the whispering currents that carry messages across the sea. His mother watches him with a calm, almost patient grace. Her world may be harsh, unpredictable, and filled with dangers, but here within her presence, his life begins with protection. She knows every threat in this ocean: orcas, deep-sea predators, storms, shifting temperatures, and the long, exhausting migrations that test even the strongest whales. But she also knows the secrets of survival, passed down through generations older than human civilization. As they rise, a faint rumble travels through the water, a voice so deep, so vast, that it vibrates across miles. It is not a cry, not a warning. It is a message, a greeting, a song. The calf pauses, mesmerized. The mother responds. A low, powerful call leaves her body, gently shaking the water around them. It travels outward, echoing through underwater valleys, over seamounts, across great plains of shifting sand. It is a song older than history itself, a song of navigation, identity, and memory. For the whale, These calls are more than communication. They are threads weaving her into the fabric of the ocean's living network. No land animal knows such connection. No bird, no beast, no creature walking the earth can sense the world through sound the way a whale can. Her song is a map, a story, a beacon. It guides her through currents, through darkness, through thousands of miles of changing water. The calf listens. He learns. Another giant answers from far away. Then another, and another. Voices join from all directions, a deep orchestra rising from unseen depths. For a moment, the ocean hums with life, with memory, with history. This is not noise. This is the communication system of a species whose world stretches from pole to pole. Every voice carries distance, direction, and intent. Every call is part of a vast, ancient conversation. The mother and calf continue their ascent. Small bubbles form near the mother's blowhole as she nears the surface. The calf swims closer, sensing the anticipation of that sacred moment, the breach of the boundary between two worlds. The water grows brighter, lighter, thinner, and then with a soft explosion of mist, the mother breaks the surface. Air meets flesh. Breath meets life. Sunlight dances across her smooth, wet skin. Water cascades down her massive back like falling silver. The sound of her exhale echoes across the open sea, a deep, powerful sigh that carries decades of survival. The calf rises beside her, smaller, quicker. His breath bursts out in a bright, fast spray, nervous, excited, almost joyful. He circles near her head, eager to see everything: the open sky, the rising sun, the horizon stretching endlessly around them. It is a moment of peace, a moment of childhood. But beneath this tranquility lies something deeper, an instinctual urgency. The migration they are on is long, dangerous, and critical. It will lead them through warm breeding waters, storm-thrashed coasts, predator territories, and feeding grounds thousands of miles away. Every mile matters. Every decision the mother makes ensures the calf's survival. She inhales deeply, filling her enormous lungs, and with a slow, graceful movement, she dives again. The calf follows. The world beneath the surface welcomes them back, dark, shimmering, mysterious. Light fades quickly, swallowed by depth. Shadows dance across their bodies as they descend. The ocean shifts once more from bright blue to muted indigo, then to near black velvet. This time, the mother swims with purpose. Her movements are steady, confident. She knows this route not through sight, but through memory, through songs she has sung and heard since she was young. Her migration path is engraved in her bones. Behind her, the calf glides closely, trusting completely. Every flick of her tail becomes a lesson. Every turn becomes a map. They pass over a vast underwater canyon, its walls lined with coral forests and drifting clouds of plankton. Strange creatures float in the shadows: translucent jellyfish, shimmering shoals of silver fish, and deep sea hunters lurking in the twilight. None dare come too close. The presence of a whale mother is imposing enough to keep most predators away. Still, danger always exists. Orcas, the wolves of the sea, patrol these waters at times. The mother knows it, and she remains alert, listening constantly to the shifting soundscape of the ocean. But for now, the currents are calm. The sea is peaceful. The deep blue world embraces them as they continue onward toward feeding grounds richer than any treasure, toward traditions older than human history, toward a future written in the tides. And in this silent descent, the whale's story begins not in violence or struggle, but in movement, memory, and the unbroken bond between a mother and her child. A bond strong enough to cross the entire planet. A bond strong enough to survive the endless blue. The ocean is never still. Even in its calmest moments, it breathes, rising, falling, pulsing with currents that travel across entire continents. These underwater rivers quietly shape the lives of countless creatures. But for the whale mother and her young calf, they are something more. They are the invisible highways guiding them across the planet. Their migration has begun. At first glance, the sea looks endless and unchanging, but to a whale, it is a living map. She feels direction not by sight, but by sensation. The temperature shifting around her body, the minerals in the water, the deep rumble of distant currents, and even the faint pull of the Earth's magnetic field. These forces, combined with memories carried through generations, create a path older than human civilization. With her calf close beside her, she swims steadily toward colder waters where food is abundant. Each stroke of her giant tail propels her forward with slow, majestic power. The calf, smaller and less experienced, works harder to keep up. He darts ahead, falls back, loops around, curious, playful, learning with every movement. The mother remains patient. She keeps her pace just slow enough for him to follow, just fast enough to prepare him for the journey ahead. This migration is not a simple trip. It is a test of endurance that spans thousands of miles. Many calves do not survive their first passage, but this calf is strong. His mother's calm guidance gives him confidence, and the ocean itself becomes his teacher. As they glide through open water, the world around them transforms. Warm turquoise shifts to darker blue. The sun above becomes a golden shimmer, dancing on distant waves. Schools of fish travel alongside them for a while, glittering like clouds of silver dust before drifting away into the deep. Seabirds circle the sky far above, their shadows briefly touching the water before vanishing. For many creatures, the ocean is a maze, but for the whale, it is home. Hours pass, then days, then weeks. The calf grows stronger with each passing mile. His muscles thicken, his lungs expand. He learns to hold his breath longer, dive deeper, and rise more gracefully to the surface. But the most important lesson he learns is how to listen. Sound travels faster and farther underwater than anywhere else on Earth. And the ocean is full of sounds, some gentle, some sharp, some ancient. The calf listens to everything: the singing of distant whales, the clicking of dolphins, the grinding song of shifting glaciers, the low hum of moving water, the crackle of tiny shrimp on coral, even the muted thunder of distant storms. But among all this, the most powerful sound he hears is his mother's song. Soft, deep, rhythmic, it vibrates through his body like a lullaby written by the sea itself. Different verses carry different meanings. One guides him toward her, one warns him, one encourages him, and one reserved only for her calf calms him when the world grows overwhelming. As they move north, the water grows colder, shadows deepen, but food grows more abundant. The mother's powerful sense of smell, which works even underwater, detects faint traces of krill drifting from distant feeding grounds. This is the destination she has been seeking, a place where the ocean blooms with life. But before they reach it, the journey becomes more difficult. Storms gather. One morning, the sky darkens abruptly. Winds howl across the open sea, tearing at the surface and sending waves towering into the air. Lightning flickers across the horizon, its reflection flashing like white fire beneath the water. The calm, glassy world the calf knew transforms into a furious battlefield. Above the surface, the storm roars, but below, danger spreads in silence. Huge waves crash overhead, their force pushing deep into the ocean. Currents twist and churn unpredictably. Water that once felt like home now feels urgent, chaotic. The calf panics. His small body is tossed by swirling surges. His movements become frantic, fast, disorganized, fearful. The mother reacts instantly. She sings loud, deep, steady. Her voice slices through the turbulence, vibrating with authority. The calf hears it through his fear, through the pressure of moving water. The message is simple: follow me. She positions her massive body beneath him, shielding him from the hardest currents. Her presence becomes a moving shelter in the chaos. They descend deeper, where the water is calmer, darker, older. The storm becomes a distant rumble far above. The calf presses close against her side. Even in the near black darkness, she is a mountain of safety. Hours pass before the storm weakens. The ocean slowly settles. Light returns. When they rise again, the sky is clean and washed, painted in pale colors of dawn. The calf breathes heavily, exhausted but alive. And the mother, though tired, remains steady. The migration continues. For a while, the sea is peaceful, but peace never lasts long in the wild. As the whales travel farther north, a new sound creeps into their world, one that does not belong to nature. It is metallic, distant and harsh. It swells and fades, interrupts and distorts, like an uninvited echo that does not understand the language of the sea. It is the noise of ships. For whales, these sounds are more than unpleasant, they are dangerous. Their songs are delicate navigation tools, finely tuned signals that can cross entire oceans. But noise pollution is a wall of confusion. It masks communication. It disrupts migration. Sometimes, it even causes deadly collisions or strandings. The mother hesitates. The calf senses her tension. A large ship passes above them. Its engines thunder through the water. The ocean feels like it is shaking. The calf flinches. The mother leads him deeper, veering off their path to avoid the deafening vibration. Humans will never hear this noise the way whales do. What sounds distant on the surface becomes overwhelming in the depths, a constant roaring that fills the water for miles. They wait as the ship fades. Silence slowly returns, and the whales resume their migration, though more carefully now. Days later, a breathtaking sight meets them, a vast gathering of marine life, all moving toward the same feeding grounds. Massive schools of fish shimmer like silver rivers. Seals dive and twist in graceful spirals. Dolphins race along the waves. Even seabirds above join the motion, gliding like arrows through the air. The ocean feels alive, more alive than at any point in their journey. The mother accelerates. The calf follows eagerly. They are close. Ahead, the water is dense with krill, tiny, shrimp-like creatures that gather in enormous clouds. For whales, these clouds are feasts, each mouthful containing thousands of tiny lives. The mother opens her jaws, water rushing in by the ton. Then, using her baleen plates, she pushes the water out while trapping the krill inside. The calf mimics her, though less skillfully. He gulps more water than food, but he learns. Every feeding attempt brings improvement. For hours, they feed. The calf grows full and stronger. The mother fills her reserves for the long journey ahead. Here, in these cold northern waters, their migration finds its purpose. Survival, nourishment, growth. But even in this rich and peaceful place, dangers exist. Not every shadow is harmless. Not every voice sings. Predators roam these waters too. But for now, the mother and calf swim among drifting krill, surrounded by the quiet harmony of the feeding grounds, a temporary sanctuary in the endless blue. The ocean carries the memory of the whale, a creature whose life spans decades and whose journey defines the pulse of the seas. As the whale moves through deep waters, its massive body cutting silently through the currents, it becomes a living bridge between the past and present. Every scar etched on its skin tells a story of survival, a battle with predators, a brush with humans, or a collision with the ever-changing sea itself. In these scars lie lessons of resilience, endurance, and the wisdom of experience. The whale's youth is now behind it, replaced by strength, confidence, and an instinctive understanding of the ocean. Migration calls across thousands of miles, and the whale responds, gliding through endless blue highways. It navigates by memory, by song, and by a deep connection to the Earth's magnetic pulse. Its journey is not solitary. Pods synchronize movement with a silent, harmonious rhythm, communicating through clicks, whistles, and the haunting songs that travel across the vast waters. These sounds, resonating through the cold deep, carry messages of love, caution, and unity. They are the language of survival and kinship, understood by generations yet mysterious to all who do not belong to the sea. Feeding becomes a ritual of patience and precision. Krill and small fish, oblivious to the looming giant, gather in dense clouds beneath the surface. The whale maneuvers with calculated grace, its mouth opening to engulf tons of water and prey. Water streams out through baleen plates, leaving only nourishment behind. Each dive, each rise to the surface, demonstrates the perfection of evolution, strength tempered by intelligence, and instinct balanced by strategy. The ocean itself becomes an extension of the whale's body. Currents guide it, tides whisper secrets, and even storms are met with skillful navigation. Nothing is left to chance, yet everything is alive with spontaneity. Throughout the years, encounters with other species shape the whale's life. Orcas, often hunters of young or weak whales, circle in stealthy packs, testing the patience and strength of the older whales. Sharks, dolphins, and even massive squids brush against its presence, each interaction a subtle negotiation of dominance, defense, and coexistence. The whale learns not only to survive, but to thrive within this complex web of life, respecting the balance of power in every ripple and wave. Its existence is a constant lesson in awareness, timing, and adaptation. Breeding season marks a turning point in its life. The mature whale emits long, sonorous calls, reaching out across the oceans in search of mates. Courtship is delicate yet profound, a combination of song, movement, and silent signals. Mating pods form, and for a fleeting period, life merges and extends into new generations. Calves are born after long gestation, tiny beings in comparison yet already aware of the pulse of the sea. The adult whale guides, protects, and teaches through example how to dive deep, how to surface with caution, how to follow the currents without unnecessary exertion. Knowledge passes without words, through movement, sound, and instinct. As time advances, the whale experiences the weight of age. Movements slow, dives are longer, and recovery takes more time. Yet wisdom compensates for diminishing strength. The older whale senses danger before it appears, predicts currents before they change, and navigates storms with patience unmatched by younger whales. There is a calm authority in its presence, a silent acknowledgement of the life it has lived and the generations it has guided. The songs of old whales, once loud and commanding, soften, carrying layers of memory and meaning, a musical testament to decades of survival. In quieter moments, beneath the undulating surface, the whale drifts near the icy edges of polar waters. Icebergs tower like ancient sentinels, reflecting the sunlight in fragmented prisms, casting light across a shimmering, ethereal world. Here, the whale pauses, exhaling through its blowhole, sending clouds of vapor skyward. Each breath is deliberate, each movement measured, an acknowledgement of the life it has been granted. Around it, penguins, seals, and seabirds continue their routines, oblivious to the colossal presence beneath them. Life moves in a delicate balance, and the whale knows the fragile beauty of this interconnected existence. Humanity's shadow brushes against the whale's world. Ships churn through migration paths, nets snare unwitting prey, and pollution alters familiar currents. The whale senses the disturbances, changing patterns of movement, or shifting feeding grounds. Survival demands flexibility, yet the creature endures, adapting to challenges without complaint. Each breach, each deep dive, each song becomes an affirmation of life's persistence, a testimony to the unyielding spirit of the ocean's giants. Time inevitably moves the whale toward the final chapters of existence. Its body, massive yet vulnerable, succumbs to age and the slow erosion of strength. Calves now mature and migrate alongside pods, carrying forward songs first heard decades ago. The older whale retreats to quieter waters, less traveled, calmer, and protected. There is no panic, no struggle. Instead, a serene acceptance of nature's rhythm. Every rise to the surface, every exhaled breath, becomes an act of reflection, a gentle acknowledgement of life lived fully, courageously, and wisely. Death in the ocean is quiet. The whale sinks gently, surrounded by the creatures it has influenced, observed, and shared the water with. Its life, once a force that shaped currents and echoed across seas, now becomes part of the eternal pulse of the ocean. In death, it provides nourishment for countless others, continuing the cycle of life, even as its physical presence fades. The body dissolves, yet its legacy endures through songs, offspring, and the memories carried by pods across generations. In the silent depths, the whale teaches the final lesson: life is fleeting, yet the impact of one being resonates beyond the boundaries of time. From the whale's life, humans gain profound insight. Strength is fleeting without wisdom. Longevity is meaningless without awareness, care, and adaptation. The ocean's largest creatures demonstrate patience, cooperation, and respect for the environment. Observing their patterns, humans learn humility. Every action has consequence, every moment is precious, and survival depends on understanding the delicate balance of existence. Spiritually, one can reflect on the divine order of creation, recognizing that every creature, great or small, has a role in sustaining harmony. The story of the whale is a testament to endurance, adaptation, and interconnection. It urges us to listen to oceans, to nature, and to the silent wisdom carried in the currents of life. It calls upon us to respect what is greater than ourselves, to protect the fragile ecosystems that support life, and to act with patience, foresight, and purpose. This creature, a giant of the blue planet, embodies lessons that extend beyond the ocean, lessons in resilience, legacy, and the profound beauty of living with intention. As the sun sets over the endless horizon, casting molten light across the water, the whale rises one last time, breaching with elegance, power, and grace. The ocean shivers with its presence. Its song, carried across miles of water, echoes a final message of connection, endurance, and wonder. And in that echo lies a call to action, to cherish, to protect, and to learn from the lives of these magnificent beings. They are not merely animals of the deep, they are teachers, guardians, and reminders of the extraordinary balance of life on Earth. Embrace the lessons of the whale. Observe without interference, respect without reservation, and act with wisdom. Understand that every ripple, every song, every breath carries meaning. Protect the oceans, guide the younger generations, and let the story of these giants inspire you to live intentionally. The whale's life is a mirror of the values we can cultivate in our own lives: patience, awareness, resilience, and reverence for the world that sustains us. Subscribe to Animalscope Network for more journeys into the secret lives of Earth's most magnificent creatures. Witness their stories, learn their lessons, and allow the silent guardians of the natural world to teach you how to live with purpose, balance, and respect.